Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, yesterday we got a chance to listen to the Kenya Kwanza side in their defensive when they were responding to the allegations from the Azimio side as far as the presidential election was concerned in this country. And we understand how they have played their game there. They even managed to bring in the issue of Security Council into this matter. And we remember, because Chebukati dragged the Security Council into the election petition here, the Attorney General was forced to appear before the Supreme Court so that he can respond to these issues. Because the Supreme Council, they sit in the same committee with the president and they advise. So that's the reason why the Attorney General appeared before the Supreme Court. If not, he had said he will not appear, unlike in 2017 when the president was part of that case. Now, what the Azimio side are not Azimio, the Kenya Kwanza side might not be telling people, because according to them, you see, they are making a claim that the Security Council include the state officers, including a CS, they said a senior military officer, vice chief of defense forces, police, head of police, including head of public service, and the chief of staff. They met with the Chebukati severally at the Bomas of Kenya, trying to force maybe a runoff or change of result in favor of railaodinga. What the Kenya Kwanza side is not telling the public is that the same Security Council also met with Chebukati in 2017. The same Security Council also met with Chebukati in 2013. The same thing happened even in the other election, previous election, before even 2013 election. So it is a tradition. They will always reach out to understand what is going on. Whether it's against the law or not, the truth of the matter is that they have always reached out to the national returning officer and their team ahead of announcing the winner of the election as far as presidential election is concerned in this country. So the same William Samoei Ruto, who was enjoying the same privileges, was here, and his team has been arguing out as if the work of the Security Council was to force Chebukati to announce the result in favor of the Azimio candidate. Something that is contrary to what we have known and what has been happening severally. So were they suggesting that in 2017, this team forced Chebukati to announce the result in favor of President Uhuru Kenyatta? Because now that's my concern to ask. Is Kithure Kindiki, William Ruto's lawyer, suggesting to Kenyans that in 2013, when the Security Council met with Wafula Chebukati, they were forcing Chebukati to announce the result of the presidential election in that year in favor of President Uhuru Kenyatta? Is he telling us that in 2013 Raila won election wakapewa Uhuru Kenyatta? In 2017 Raila won election wakapewa Uhuru Kenyatta. But now in 2022 Uruta ameshinda, now wanataka kupea Raila Odinga. Or what are they suggesting to Kenyans? So those are the questions I've been asking myself. Because someone would want to pretend as if this is the first time the Security Council is meeting with the IEBC. They want to make the situation to look like that, but it's not so. And there are so many things to question about their presentation. So there are other issues that have been raised as the Kenya Kwanza side, they have been making their submission. and we want to look into those issues. But just a quick reminder, you might be watching this channel but you're not subscribed, so I'm humbly requesting you to subscribe so that another time, once you release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our returning subscribers and anyone who dropped comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, I think the court has, is it 3 or 2 days to make to come out with their verdict after listening to Azimio side and the Kenya Kwanza side. We have seen how politics and facts have played out from the Azimio side and the Kenya Kwanza side. Yesterday, they were putting questions on the Azimio lawyers. Of course, they had to provide answers to those questions and they were given time to answer. And yesterday we saw the Supreme Court judges also asking number of questions. They raised a number of questions as far as this election is concerned. They are asking Chebukati the reason why he has to announce the result when the commissioners were divided and he had 1 day more. Why couldn't he at least put a break and resolve the issue with the commissioners before coming out with the final results? Because he had 1 more day. The day announced the result was not the final. Kulikuwa na siku moja mbele. Then there was a question of why Chebukati is so authoritative. A very powerful person, someone who somehow looked like a dictator, who has a dictatorial power, yet the new constitution we have now, it was trying to bring a kind of sharing this power. Ndio maana saa hizi unaona president is not that so powerful person. Kuna Supreme Court iko separate, tuko na National Assembly iko separate, and the executive. So all those positions there. There were so many questions being raised that the IBC CEO is even more powerful than the commissioners. And remember, CEO ni mtu anachaguliwa na chairman hapo. Lakini commissioners ni watu wanakuwa vetted by the National Assembly ndio wakuja wafanye kazi. But we have some people who have immense power than the what? The people who have been vetted through the National Assembly. So it's like they have been sidelined all through. So there are so many questions they raised there. I know some of you have seen them, but I think it was better for us also to bring them here just for record purposes as this case goes on. So I want to leave you here with some of those questions from our judges at the Supreme Court. Wait them up to the end and then give your view as we continue with this conversation, and see you in our next video. But please help us by subscribing to our channel. Watch this video.
For us, Mr. Chebukati, the chair, first mentioned a 65.4% turnout. And then he did indicate that that was bound to change as results kept streaming in, especially if you took into consideration the number of those who had voted manually and the numbers that had yet to come in from the elders. Now, it is the petitioner's argument that if there was to be any change at all, then that percentage would have to increase rather than decrease. So
to your team, and any of you could answer it, it's not a flippant question. I'm raising it deliberately because I have reason to. I know that the events of 15th August are in our minds, but remember that there was an extra day by which Mr. Chebukati could have declared the result. Why did he not wait until that day? Violence or no violence? Perhaps you have another reason. Reach out to the commissioners, the 4 that are now named the 4. Try and reach a consensus. Address the question of the 27 constituencies so that these suspicions that have now cropped up would not have been an issue. Is there any other reason why he did not take advantage of the extra day to do what he had to do?
Number of parties that they've asked us to.
When we look at Article 88,
The role of IEBC is to supervise and conduct elections. I do not want to repeat this question. Why the chairman deemed it fit to allocate commissioners, I think what has been described as domestic chores, leaving the core business of IEBC to the CEO to supervise. We've been told that they did a good job in the polling stations. Polling went on well, counting, tallying, and transmission until the National Tallying Center, where they are all there, but they are not doing the core business of, according to the Constitution, they have been given other duties. This is bringing a lot of questions in our minds. Then when we look at Article 138, 3C, we see they have a law. At least to look at the tallying results and ask questions whether the president-elect met the constitutional threshold before the chairman can go and announce the results, because we all understand nobody can tinker with the forms 34A's and B the way they have come. And you have heard IEBC being likened to the Supreme Court, much to the chagrin of the judges here, because the question which was being asked, I think, by Mr. Otieno is that if 7 people are sitting on a judgment or a decision and there is a dissenting voice, why didn't the chairman tell Kenyans exactly what happened? That we conducted this election, we came to the National Tallying Center, we have these results, but some of the colleagues have a dissenting voice. They will tell the Kenyans why they are dissenting. Another thing that worries us, and I think your team should answer, is why the live streaming of the results stopped. Because if Kenyans were able to follow the streaming from the beginning to the end, which was being done in the spirit of accountability and stability and transparency, then the rhyme which we were being told of the pige ponki would not arise, because there would have been no confusion. We know this is how things are happening, and therefore maybe the losing candidate who is being called to go to the National Tallying Center can decide not to go, because they know already the results, they are on the screen. So I would also like a clarification. The question has been asked, and it was demonstrated very ably by Mr. Mahat. I would really like to follow his presentation because he did it with the passion. Mr. Kirago Kemani also did it, but I think I want you, Mr. Mahat, to, just demonstrate how the forms 34A that were attached to the affidavits of the respondents were photoshopped. I think I liked your language of photoshopping, and I could follow it, but I want to understand exactly how they were photoshopped.